Hey.
How may I be of service? Sure, go ahead and take a look.
I'd just leave that if I were you.
You're tuned to Radio Freedom, voice of the Minutemen. Nothing to report at the moment. Stay tuned for updates.
What's good today?
No idea what it's been like scrounging around for 2 cents.
What have you got to trade today?
Thank you. It's like I can finally think straight.
Here at Radio Freedom. Nothing to report. Keep it tuned here for updates. Broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. All quiet here. Stay tuned for critical alerts. This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. Nothing to report. Stay safe, people. to Radio Freedom. All quiet. Out. Stay safe out there, people. You're tuned to Radio Freedom, voice of the Minutemen. All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there. This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. Nothing to report. Stay safe out there.
Sure.
Radio Freedom. It's 10 a.m.
Paladin dance.
Ready to continue our mission, soldier?
Coding for additional fusion
Feels like we can
courses.
take on the world.
You're tuned to Radio Freedom. Voice of the Minutemen. All flights, stay for Minutemen alerts.
Excuse me.
Castle Armory is at your service, General. What do you need?
Let me see what you've got.
Sure thing, General.
Let's see what kind of armor you've got. Hi.
I'm sure I've got something you need.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Let me know what you'd like.
This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there.
Engaging hostile life form. Upper limb injury.
Look me in the eye as you die! It won't be you. Sustaining damage.
Survival is improbable.
Who's next? That sound! What is it? Gonna splatter your palm!
inventor of the bobby pin would think of its new primary use in the Commonwealth.
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
Some air fresheners, a new coat of paint, and it'll all be good as new.
If only it were that simple. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
Kellogg called me the backup.
Did he? Well, he was correct. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
Your unconditional love is overwhelming. I think I need a moment.
I can accept that you're offended. You must understand, though. I have had no love to feel. We have been strangers until now, you and I. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you, as it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Sean, you need to know. I still love you.
I can see that you do. Well, it's remarkable. There are greater things to come after your success at Bunker Hill. The synths have been safely returned and will be repurposed. Thank you for your work. I hope you weren't at too much risk.
What do you mean, the synths will be repurposed?
Modifications will be made to correct the defects in their programming, and they'll be assigned to new duties within the Institute. Not the first or last time it will happen. The railroad remains an annoyance, of course, but they'll be dealt with as necessary. And you, well, you've passed the test, as they say. You have done well. Please, take this as a token of my appreciation. Our appreciation, really. It's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
Pam wants to talk with you. She's in back.
I traded some lead with the courser outside Dayton. Watch your six out.
With that latest one, Mila's got good coverage of the Commonwealth. You got the time? I got another site we could place another one of my babies. But if you're here to check out the latest and greatest, that's good.
Let's see what you got.
You got it.
You from one of those vaults? You got too many people in this game.
Perfect.
Learn anything interesting, sir?
Confirming presence of rogue variable. Mission details commencing. After the combat action at Bunker Hill, a statistically significant number of Courser sightings have been reported. Conclusion: the Institute is actively looking for railroad assets. Stopgap solution: terminate Courser threats whenever possible.
Go on.
Target designated Courser Alpha is in a defended location with lower generation synth targets. Eliminate Courser variable, leaving no survivors. End of discussion.
Excuse me.
Unit X688 speaks highly of your combat skills.
Sensor anomaly detected.
That's the last of them.
time is done! This is the age of the super mutant! Rage! Rage!
If they're out there, we'll find them.
God! Spineless human! Time to die!
That's the last of them.
Hey.
What can I do for you?
We're hot!
What?
Trouble.
That's it.
What the inventor of the bobby pin would think of its new primary use in the Commonwealth.
Randolph Safe House has got another debt drop for you.
Everyone's all, you've been hitting the cams way too hard.
Hey,
Let's take a look at what you've got. Carrying all that weight is simply slowing you down.
Tinker Tom's cooking up something. I hope it goes better than last time.
Hey,
What? Can I do for you?
I suppose you're here.
You gotta be careful, man. The Institute is everywhere. With that latest one, Mila's got good coverage of the Commonwealth. Could always use more Mila's placed, if you're interested. But if you're here to check out the latest and greatest, that's good.
I traded
never
some
met
of
a
that
synth.
Corsa outside
Lord.
Dayton.
It's all our asses.
Watch your six out there.
Commencing recurrence analysis using Dubrovian method.
one less courser.
Mission's outcome correctly predicted. Warning. Odds of more coursers being discovered are extremely high. Reward for service delivered.
Pat,
Adding
I took
data
care of the
to
DIA
statistical
cache.
model. Reward dispensed.
This a clean floor.
Let's get this directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's... well, it's important.
Don't make excuses.
Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ayo has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
Of course.
Really? Well, there's no shame in being out of the loop, as it were. The project has been classified for quite a long time. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
Right. Such hard times down here.
I would never disagree that life in the Institute is better than above ground. We have done much to ensure it. Now, we take things even further. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate it. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ayo. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
What? Can't be serious.
Everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
Why would you joke about this? It isn't funny.
Were it a joke, I'd agree it's in poor form. But I'm afraid it's not. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really? Seems a poor choice.
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
The Institute's a big place. It might take a while to learn where everything is.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once.
I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
I don't know if I'm right for this.
Well, I clearly have faith in you. There's no question that some of the Directorate and the Institute at large will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
A clean and healthy work environment is essential to maximum productivity.
I have every confidence.
Dr. Fillmore.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
What the hell is this operation about?
Hey, relax. We wouldn't send you off without the proper information. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
Oh man, I have one of those, but it's in my other pants.
You wouldn't recognize one if it fell on your head. That's why I'm going to retrieve it.
Sounds good. I'd appreciate the company.
Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. But here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there.